Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Today's subject is C programming language. Topic Introduction to C. Now go to first slide. Introduction to C. C basic information. C is a general purpose high level language that was originally developed by Dennis Ritchie for the Unix operating system. It was first implemented on the Digital Equipment Corporation PDP 11, that file number, computer in 1972. The Unix laboratory introduced by the operating system of the Dennis Ritchie is computer in 1972 is C language. Now the Unix operating system and virtually all Unix applications are written in the C language, C programming language. C has now become a widely used professional language for various reasons. Easy to learn, structured language. We go to next slide, the continuation, introduction to C. It produces efficiency programs. It can handle low level activities. It can be compiled on a variety of computers. Facts about C. C was invented to write an operating system called Unix. C is a successor of B language, which was introduced around 1970. The B language is introduced by Ken Thompson. The C language introduced by Dennis Ritchie. It was introduced around 1970 to 1972. The language was formalized in 1988 by the American National Standard Institute, that's name of ANSI. By 1973, Unix operating system almost totally written in C. Today, C is the most widely used system programming language. Most of the state-of-the-art software have been implemented using C. Implemented using C. Why to use C? C was initially used for system development work, in particular the programs that make up the operating systems. C was adopted as a system development language because it produces code that runs nearly as fast as code written in assembly language. Assembly language, already told you in classroom, alphabetic uppercase or lowercase. Assembly language. Some examples of use the C might be operating systems, Windows, Unix, Linux, anything. Language compilers included in C language. Assemblers, functions, assembling in programming languages, text editors, notepad, wattpad, print, spoolers means using the functions, print functions, network drivers functions can be implemented here. Modern programs in C, databases using functions of data files, language interpreters, already interpreted languages, utilities, function utilities in C. Next, the C program file. All the C programs are written into text file with extension .c. That will be written in Notepad or Wattpad text files. For example, hello.c. You can use a VI editor option to write your C program into a file. This tutorial assumes that you can know how to edit a text file and how to write programming instructions inside a program file. Next, C compilers. When you write any program in C language, then to run that program you need to compile. You can compile that program using a C compiler, which converts your program into a language understandable by a computer program. Here, this is called machine language. Machine language is binary format. So before proceeding, make sure you have C compiler available at your computer. Next we'll go to the continuation points of introduction to C. You can ask your system administrator or you can take help from anyone to identify an available C compiler at your computer. It will installed or not installed freely and orderly. Using orderly means it can be implemented new invocation of C language. It can be installed Turbo C or C++, anything. Next, if you do not have C compiler installed at your computer, then you can use below given link to download a GNU C compiler and use it. You can go to the C program structure. A C program basically has the following form: preprocessor commands, functions, variables, next statements and expressions, commands. The following program is written in the C programming language. Open a text file hello.c using VI editor, that is text editor or word editor, and put the following lines inside that file using. Now put the following lines inside that file. Next, go to the next slide. The slide is C program structure. Already mentioned here the program. First slide, C program structure. A program C program basically has the following form: preprocessor commands, functions, variables, statements and expression, comments. Let me see the program of C program structure. Hash is a preprocessor. Hash is a preprocessor. Okay, include within using standard input output at header file, int main function, open curly bracket, using command line. Command line means using slash of star my first program. Next statement, print f within parenthesis bracket, within double quotes, hello comma world, not using within quotes, closing parenthesis bracket with semicolon, return function 0 with the end of this semicolon, close the curly braces. Okay, next the preprocessor commands. Using these commands tell the compiler to do pre-processing before doing actual completion, like hash include using greater or less than using the functions std io.h. std means standard input output dot header file is a preprocessor command which tells a C compiler to include standard input output dot header file before going to actual completion. Okay, you will learn more about C preprocess in C preprocess section. Functions. Next, functions are main building blocks of any C program. Every C program will have one or more functions, and there is one mandatory means important, is necessary, can be function, which is called main function. Next, we'll go to the functions continuation points. The function is prefixed with keyword int. Int means integer data type, which means the function returns an integer value when it exits. Okay, this integer value is returned using return statement. The C programming language provides a set of built-in functions. In the above example, printf is a C built-in function which is used to print anything on the screen. Only integer value is numbers. Only numbers, not point value, not negative or negative value or positive value. Negative means minus value or positive means plus value. Okay, it will be only one digit or two digits. It cannot be considered point value. Point value means it is float. A single value is single or double value. It is an integer. Only values, not will mention integer in characters, letters. Okay, now the using the C programming provides a set of built-in functions. In the above example, printf is C built function which used to printing anything on the screen. Next, variables. I've already told you variables means default variables, local variables, global variables. In using numeric values and alphabetic value. Alphabetic means uppercase or lowercase. Variables means numeric value means whole number, natural numbers, anything. I can read a sentence. Variables are used to hold numbers, strings, and complex data for manipulation. You will learn in detail about variable in C variable types. Next slide. Statements and expressions. Statements and expressions. Expressions combine variables and constants to create new values. Statements or expressions, assignments, function calls, or control flow statements which make up C programs. Next, comments. Comments are used to give additional useful information inside a C program. All the comments will be put inside the comment line. Comment line means front slash star symbol with dot star symbols front slash has given the example above. A comment can span through multiple lines. Where will we use the comment lines can be written in the front of the program in comment lines. Okay, note the followings. C is a case of sensitive programming language. It means C, printf and printf will be have different meaning. Why means programming language should be generating input output functions here. Next slide. The continuation of variables. Continuation of comments notes the following functions. This next slide. The C has a free form line structure. Each and every C statement must be marked with a semicolon. Semicolon. With every statement will be marked with a semicolon. Why means I will told you the program. I will go to the program. The C program structure. Return value is return space of 0, numeric value 0, end of semicolon. That will be here mentioned. What here is mentioned? The statement can be using of the C has a free form line structure. End of each C statement must be marked with a semicolon. Okay. Multiple statements can be one the same line. Okay. White spaces, that is tab space and a space bar, are ignored. Okay. Statements can continue over multiple lines. Next, C program completion. To complete a C program, you would have to compile name and program file name. Assuming your compiler's name is CC using and program file is hello.c. Given give following command at Unix promote. Next, you go to the name of CC is using for command from Unix. You can use a Unix function. Will be programming termination of the output from the give the first CC space, then give the file name of hello.c, then will be output will be print. This will produce a binary file called a.out. The output will be executed by a.out and an object file hello.o in your current directory. Here a.out is your first program which you will return at Unix promote. Like any other system program you can use in Unix OS, it will be generating the output of a.out. A.out will use the command and object file name is hello.o in your current directory. Here a.out is your file first program which you will run at Unix promote command promote like any other system program. If you do not like the name of a.out, then you can produce a binary file with your own name by using O option. While compiling the C program, see an example below. The O hello.c will given the CC hello space of hello.c. Enter. Now you will get a binary with name of hello. Execute this program at your Unix promote, but before running this program, make sure that it has execute permission set. If you do not know what is execute permission, then just follow the 2 steps. Now go to the next slide. Here I will mention example names. There will be file check file ch mode 755 hello using front slash of hello. This will produce following result hello world. Next, C reserve words. The following names are reserved words by the C language. Their meaning is already defined and they cannot be redefined to mean anything else. I can be giving the keywords from in C, auto, else, long, switch, break, enum using numbers, using register, type, definition, def, case, extend, return, union, character, float, short, unsigned, constant, const, for, signed, void, continue, go to, size of, volatile, next, default, if, static, while, do, int, structure, packed, double. It will be included here the keywords. I will mention here. These are the keywords. These are the keywords in reserve keywords function. Next slide. While naming your functions and variables other than these names, you can choose any names of reasonable length for variables, functions, etc. Next, C basic data types. C has a concept of data types which are used to define a variable before its use. The definition of variable will assign storage for the variable and define the type of the data that will be held in the location. The value of a variable can be changed at any time. Now go to next slide. For C basic data types, the C has the following basic built-in data types: int, float, double, char. Int means integer, float, double using next character. First we will select C int data type. Int is used to define integer value. I told you int is a integer values. We will define only here. Open curly brace bracket, int count, next count equal to 5, close curly brace. It's a int data type. Next we'll go to float data type. Float is used to define floating point numbers, flops, floating point per second. Open curly brace, float miles using example name miles. Miles is equal to 5.6 miles, nearby 6 kilometers. Okay. Next closing curly brace. Next double data type. Double is here used to define big floating point numbers. So will be continued. You discuss about the float is one float. Float is one is a using limited floating point numbers. Double is a using the big floating point numbers. It reserves twice the storage for the number on PCs. This is like to be 8 bytes. Okay. Next we'll go to the char. Char means data type. Char means string. It's a character. Char defines characters. Open curly brace. Char letter. Letter is equal to within single code of X. It is a end of every statement will be semicolon. Next modifiers. I told you every statement will be end with semicolon. Where will be semicolon be end with semicolon? I will told you the C has a free form of line structure. Each of C statement must be marked with a semicolon. I told you here. You can see here. This is first point is the char data type. Char defines the character. Open curly braces. The char giving the variable name letter. End of statement is semicolon. Next letter equal to assign the assignment operator within single code of X. The character is string. End of semicolon. End curly brace, close the curly brace. Next modifiers topic. The data types explained above have following modifiers: short, long, signed, unsigned. Next we'll go to the modifiers. Define the amount of storage allocated to the variable. The amount of storage allocated is not cast in stone. Why it will stone, not in stone? I will explain you. ANSI has the use American National Standard Institute. ANSI has the following rules. Already mentioned you where will be the ANSI. Here will be the ANSI name. I can show you the slide. They introduced by name of ANSI. Just a minute. I can show you the program implemented here. The name will be introduced by ANSI. Where it will be facts about. The language was formalized in 1988 by American National Standard Institute. That will be ANSI, introduced by here. You will come to this point where this will be initiated. ANSI has the following rules: short int, okay, lesser than or equal int, lesser than or equal long int, okay, float lesser than or equal double, lesser than or equal to long, double. Okay, what this means is that short int should assign less than or same amount of storage as an int means numeric value, single value, double value, and int should be less or same bytes than long int. What this means in real world is program here. Now the types of bytes range short int 2 the minus 32,768 using value plus minus to plus value the 32,767. Okay, 32 kb. Next, unsigned short into using 0 to plus 65,535 64 kb. Next, unsigned int 4 using 0 to plus 4 294 comma 976 comma 295. The value will be initiated by long process 4 GB. Int 4 only int 4. Okay, will be same. The value is minus 2147 483 comma 648 to plus the same 214 comma 483. The initiating value will be generating minus negative value will be increased, negative positive value will be less than 1 point. It is 647, it is 648. 2 GB spaces long int for the same initiated the same value of minus 2147 comma 483 648 to plus value 2 come to 147 483 to 647 2 GB. Signed char 1 minus 128 bytes to 127. Unsigned char 1 0 to 255. The float is 4, double is 8, long double is 12. The important values will be here. Integer means 4, long int means 4, signed char means 1, unsigned char means 1 value, float means 4, double means 8, long double means 12. This will be value of data types bytes. Okay, next go to the qualifiers. A type of qualifier is used to refine the declaration of a variable, a function, and parameters by specifying whether the value of a variable can be changed. The value of a variable must always be read from memory rather than from a register. Standard C language recognize the following two qualifiers. One is const, next is volatile. Next, the const qualifier is used to tell C that the variable value cannot change after initialization. Once the program is initialized, it cannot be changed the value until program execution. Next, the const float value. Example, pi value. Pi is equal to using 3.14. 22 by 7 is it calculation value is 3.14 something 159. Now pi cannot be changed at a later time with the program. The program will only initialized, cannot be changed the value. Or first of all, you can instate the program to write in program. That will be instated right in program, it will change. Suppose the program is initialized means after the execution it cannot be changed the value. Another way to define constants, it cannot be changed. Only constant is with the defined preprocessor, which has the advantage that it does not use any storage. In storage, the volatile qualifier declares data type that can have its value change in ways outside the control or detection of the compiler, such as a variable updated by the system clock or by another program. Next, we'll go to this last 2 points. This for the using in qualifiers, constant, volatile. Next, it prevents the compiler from optimizing referring to the object by storing the object's value in a register every moment, every action register, and read it from there rather than from memory where it may have changed. You will use the qualifier once you will become expert in C. So for now, just proceed. Now will be the section. The introduction to C is completed. Now we'll next see the next section. Thank you, dear students. Assalamu alaikum.